Okay, we are live, it looks like. We'll see if anyone joins. Let's see. Okay. Right now, so you see, this is what we're working on today. We'll see. Rendered. Ooh, this is using some of my GPU. Oh my gosh, why is this? Oh. It's not doing squat. Okay. Oh, there we go. Yeah, this is what we're looking at today. This is what I've got. So it doesn't have anything below the neck. Also, don't have anything to. I don't have anything to control it. I just have certain sliders. So these controls are all done in geometry nodes. I can show you in a second. Yeah, let me show you. So let's hop into GeoNodes. Let's go to material preview mode. Yeah, that'll work. So this is not very clean at all, is it? So let's see. Gosh, I don't remember what I was doing there. Holy cow. Okay. Gotcha. So I've gotten here. Let's use the mouth. Let's use the brow raise as an example here. So I have a value coming in, right? And then it's I'm having it offset. Let's see. I have this a vertex group here for the brow select, and it's being multiplied by however much you've increased the thing, increased that value there, and then it multiplies by a vector so that I can get it to go. See how it's just a little bit of z, or quite a bit of z, and just about half as much y. So it kind of goes back this way. So if you look at it like this, it goes, let's see, brow raise L. Yeah, see how it goes kind of up into and a little bit back. So that's how that works there. And then it's also being run through. I took so there's just a 2-point form in it's just algebra. You need to learn in like pre-algebra. The 2-point form converted it into point slope form. Because if you think about it, what is this but just a line, like a graph, like a Cartesian graph that you would use. So if I go brow raise like that, raise like that, go like that, or you can go. What I like to do is this one here, and then I go mouth open just a little bit, and then I can imagine to put a cigar in there. That kind of fun, yeah. Okay, so what I need to do, so there's a couple things I need to do, and one is I need to first thing I need to do is, well, one thing I need to do is give like bones to control this. I'm not quite certain how to set that up technically. The other thing is I want to what do I want to do? I want to oh yeah, let me pull something up real quick here. oh, oh, oh. Let's see, where is it? There's one of my favorite pictures of all time somewhere here. Chimpanzee. Here it is. This is one of my favorite pictures of all time. So I'm thinking of doing kind of this. Trying to think of thinking of doing this. Making kind of a space monkey, space chimp. Um, and in doing so, I want to give him. I want to model him like a NASA style, I think Apollo era spacesuit. I know it's not accurate to the picture, but yeah, it is what it is. I think it'd be kind of fun to. Um, huh, the capsule is called Redstone. Redstone 2. No way. Um, yeah, so that's the thing. So I might model that in a separate file and bring it in. I don't know. Yeah, let's see. Let's take a look at. Um, let's do some sketching here. So let's see what we got going on. Um, let's see. Yeah. So let's see. I'm thinking like the little kidney bean shape for torsos here. Let's give him. This is a more grown up, more adult looking chimp. I'm sure it looks more like an adult human, and so I think that's going to be something I want to get across in there. Is I want it to feel a little more, and plus it's a little less cartoony than some of my other models. Like we'll probably be working on the bear at some point, and that one's that one's extremely cartoony. The two tones don't really match at all. Um, so I'm thinking something like this, and then like this, and then we could do a. Well, we got to do the. He's got to have maybe the and then so. Oh man, something like that. Let's see. Okay. So there's an idea. We say here's his helmet. I think I'm gonna make the helmet a little more open than most spacesuits are, and then we throw in his snout, like that. So like, of course, there we go. That looks really rough, but I think that's the way to go. Um, Maybe I go with something a little more heroic. I know it's not as accurate and not as realistic, but we could go something a little more heroic. Heroic. That's my best. I'm Patrick Warburton. No, that's not a good Patrick Warburton impression. Right. I shouldn't have eaten a whole pizza before this. Now I'm gummy. Here you go. Good old water. Whoever invented that's a genius. Love water. Like that. I don't know why this one turned out kind of rougher than I expected. Let's turn off the keyframes and we can just start a new one. Let's use more of the pen tool, like the ballpoint pen style. That feels a little bit more appropriate. Let's see. Okay. Let's see. Well, real quick, let me come back to this, but I think I'm going to open up, let's see, file new, or let's see, window, new, never mind. Let's save this real quick. And then chimpanzee, call it space suit sketches. Yeah. And then we're gonna go let's show off real quick also. Let's see who all's watching right now. Is that Paija? Let's see. Okay. So here's this bear that I've been working on for a while. I was working on it a while back, and didn't quite finish it. And then I did some texturing on it, and I love the texturing. So before a couple days ago, there was no the one for that Fresnel look, or that Fresnel like that bright edge wasn't there. The other thing is, you're seeing this here. Check this out. Let's see. Let's look at. Okay. So we got the texture coordinates here. Oh, I can't see. Let's do it. Texture coordinates, noise texture. Mixing. So I mix the generated noise with this one. Here's the Voronoi. So check this out. So what I'm doing is, here's a cool thing. So I'm mixing the texture coordinates. So think about the X, Y, and Z, X and Y, I guess U and V positions of each point in texture space. I've also got the color output of some noise. If I mix those two vectors together, it distorts everything, right? Which is why when we look at, yeah, check this out. So that's how Voronoi normally looks. That's it all distorted. Look at that, right? Then we got this color thing, right? You could also use it with position if we wanted to, but that's not going to do much. Run it through a map range. I did make this little node group that lets me set what the base is, and then how much it varies as kind of the for this map range. And then I run that into the roughness, and you see that, you can see the little, cool, huh? Isn't that cool? I think that's sweet. So we got this, you get little, that's just, I was trying so hard to figure out, I tried doing handmade textures, and I was like, that just didn't look right, like these handmade bump maps for the fur. I tried actual like particle hair, I tried the GeoNodes hair, all that stuff. It just wasn't working. But this, I think this is what I'm sticking with, because look at that. Isn't that pretty? A little, just a little bit of patchiness when the light hits it right, and that's enough to make it feel make it feel furry, make it feel hairy and textured, and give it some sort of interesting shape without it being too overwhelming or losing some of that cartoony charm. So that's that. That's my bear. I'll probably get back to that in a bit. I gotta rig it, which I'll be honest is not the thing. It's the kind of thing I'm dreading the most. I really don't want to be rigging anything. But you you gotta do what you gotta do. But back to the, let's see. Back to the chimpanzee. Oh, actually, another thing that I've been working on. Let me show you. So this is a drawing. This is a drawing here I did. I colored it in post and GIMP. I look at that. I also divided it up into parts so it was easy to kind of see. And I've started modeling it. It is one of those ones like, where do I even start? So I'm working on it. But this is, if it turns out to look as good as the picture, I think I'm doing all right. So there's that. Oh, and we're in Blender 5.1. There's some new stuff in Blender 5.1. Let's look up Blender 5.1 changelog. Let's see, we got release notes. Or let's look at this. That is not the one I do want the release notes, don't I? Okay, animation and rigging. Performance. New operators replace the action on multiple objects. New F curve. Rigging. Loop selection is now possible in weight paint mode when using vertex selection. Oh. Okay. What's new? Anything new in the compositor? That's interesting. Ooh, new mask to SDF node. Oh. You want to play with that for a second? Sir, I'm going full ADHD right here, but do you all want to play? You want to play with that for a second? Ooh. The index switch node is now supported. New sequencer strip info node to access the active strip start and frame location rotation scale properties. Oh baby, yes, please. Let's do that. I'm a sucker for the video sequence editor, so I'm so glad that they're giving it some love. Mix color node now mixes the alpha as well. Cool. Cycles. Anything in cycles? Let's look at geometry. Avian viewport real quick. Ooh, shader raycast node. Oh, this one's cool. Have y'all seen this one? This is from Cartesian Caramel. Go watch his video on that. That one's really cool. I've been poking around at the shader raycast node, but I gotta wrap my head around it. It's pretty sweet. So maybe we'll play with that a little bit too, just for the heck of it. I know I'm starting new stuff instead of what I should be doing, but let's see, geometry nodes, volume grids. Oh yeah, those are fun. For those who don't know, volume grids are, let's see, let me actually make sure I have this right. The new volume grid system introduced of Blender 5.0 has been extended with a couple new nodes. From my understanding, it's basically a voxel grid for displaying volumes. So you could use it for clouds and whatever. I'm not quite certain on it, but yeah. String to curves. New font socket. Ooh. Bundles. Oh yeah, bundles are fun. Okay. Grease pencil. What's new in grease pencil? A bunch of stuff. That I can get into later. Let's look at real quick video sequencer. So now has the box just. Oh, that's cool. That's pretty sweet. I like that. Okay. Snapping to display bounds of a meta strip is now possible if snap to frame range is enabled. Modifiers, strips inside or outside of meta strips can now be assigned as mask modifiers or mask modifier inputs. Compositor modifier can now be used. It can now use the new sequencer strip info node. Ooh, I like that. Okay. Virtual reality. Anything good here? Okay. Let's. Oh man, I'm kind of tired. Oh gosh. Oh. Let's take a look at the bear. So here's what we're looking at here. Let's turn overlays back on. Let's solid. Let's real quick. Let's change something real quick here. Object. Let's see. Viewport display. Display as. No. Hold on. Oh, here it is. Matte cap. Object color texture. What? Huh? Okay. Material? No. Texture? No. Random? No. Object, attribute, custom. Could have sworn. So what I'm looking for is I could have sworn there was a way to get it to show. Oh, maybe not. Okay. I was hoping there was a way to get it to show that the the image texture that I've been using here. Okay, let's look at real quick. Where are my bones? Where's my armature? Oh, there we go. Let's real quick. I want to show you what I've got so far. So this is the arms, the arms and legs. I can move the mouth. Oh, that needs to be skull. There we go. Back in there. Yeah, so I'm gonna drop that. Oh, you know what? This needs to be not torso base, but it needs to be the spine. Is that? Yeah, that's probably best if it's on the root. I know you can switch them, and maybe I'll figure one of those things out later. But that's what we got going on right now. And I've got them split into separate groups, so I can just isolate the control bones. So that when the time comes, I can have the actual deforming bones. Excuse me, the actual deforming bones out of the way or invisible so that I can just control with those. Things that I'm trying to figure out right now. One is the hands. I almost get the feeling that I kind of want to do. I kind of want to um, do them in a kind of a non-conventional way. I'm not quite certain how, but I'm looking at I want them to kind of be able to curl. I know I could probably put a bone in each finger and it could work, but I would like to try something a little more, especially more cartoony. So I want to be able to curl it, like have them kind of curl in like this. But I also want it to be something that is a little bit per finger. I don't know. Maybe I'm overthinking it. I probably am. Let's try this. Let's hop into here. Let's hop into here. Let's hop into here. Let's do this. Oops. Oh, can't click on anything today for some reason. Not people are watching. Not that anyone's watching, but you know, I can pretend like someone's watching, right? We want it to. I think we want the bone to pivot around there. Yeah. Let's see. I forgot how to move the cursor. Yes, there we go. Cursor to selected. And then we're going to go in here and go here, go edit mode, shift A. And we're going to turn on snapping, and we're going to snap to vertex. Right? That's the one right there. Okay, that's a really fat finger, but so let's see, okay, I'm switching this from B-bones to octahedral. We don't need to be able to see that the spine is bending. That is one of the things that I kind of wish were different about Blender is I wish I could um, I wish I could either have some bones displayed with one form or another displayed with another, or that there was some way of displaying bendy bones without them being so fat. You know what I'm saying? Like that is, and also I should name these. Let's see, that's just a little much. So we're gonna call this one. And each of these fingers, I think I'm just gonna have them have one, unless I do make them bendy bones, and so that when they rotate, they kind of curl up. I'm gonna call this one finger one underscore right. I'm using let's see, cursor selected. rotation there. I want to be in line with the thing. And then we're gonna edit mode again here. Oh shit. Oh, that's what I meant to do. We're gonna say Shift S, cursor selected. Probably don't need to be doing all that, but I'm trying to be precise. R, that's gonna be, line up here and try to rotate it until it's okay. What am I doing here? Does the interesting. Do you think this ought to be up further up here now? Maybe. Oh, let's turn off that and also turn it on to increment. Yeah, let's do that. And the thumb I gotta do kind of the same way, don't I? Let's see, is this gonna work? Let's see, quick display is up to, yeah. Why is it doing? You've seen that, right? It's the hand of the arm is shifting, and I think it has something to do with the IK. Also, yeah. What's the best way for me to what's the best way for me to control the hand like that? Something that I think would be fun to be able to do in Blender is have some sort of a panel thing that you can make out the side. So oh, here's a custom panel, and it's got a full like 2D interface. Because I think it'd be cool to be able to say, well, I'm gonna, especially for facial animation, I want to be able to do a little 2D interface thing where I can move the eyebrow around or the pull the mouth or whatever, kind of, instead of having it be something that is stuck to the mesh or something that is like exists in 3D space that you kind of have to have. I mean, it works, but it'd be cool to have something else. Oh, excuse me. I should not. What are you thinking? What are we thinking? Ooh. Hey, what's up, Sugar Cookie? How are ya? Okay, what are we thinking? So, let's see. I'm at that point where I get nothing done on this project, where I get nothing done because it looks so good, and I just kind of orbit around it. This is what we're looking at right now. But I want to be able to. Maybe what I need to do is have a scene that I'm going to put them in. I originally, you'll notice the name of the project was called Bear in a Car because it was supposed to be I was supposed to be putting this bear in a little tiny car, so that'll be a fun little image. What I'm thinking is I might even put him in like a pickup truck or something, and or maybe just like out in the forest. Just I need him to. I want to do some sort of animation because I haven't done a lot of animation, and I'd like to do more of that. Um, but I'd like to. There's a lot of stuff going on with that. Um, yeah, what are we thinking? Because I want to be able to, him to be able to close his hand into a fist. I tried using what are they called? I tried using shape keys. The Yeah, shape keys to to have kind of an open and closed option. It just didn't work the way I was hoping, so I think I'm gonna try something else. I also Here's something else I've been kind of playing with is lattices. So here's what a lattice is real quick. So let's add in a mesh, a monkey. And then on the monkey, do a lattice, and you can just add a blank lattice, but this one is deform selected, means it's fit to the bounding box of what I've got selected already. And then if I pull this, notice how it does, it kind of pulls all of the points along it. And you can also come into here and add in extra 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 gosh extra resolution in the lattice. Holy cow, it took me forever to get that word out. I wouldn't have chose something a little more humble. Megamind, criminally handsome master of all villainy. Do 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 dee do. Do dee do dee do. Bad to the bone. Bad. Bad. Bad to the bone. So what I'm looking at here is, what I was thinking of here is using lattices like a lattice, just a blank one, and you can have it, you can bring down, oops, not U, W? W. Yeah. You can scale this up. And you have one for each finger. And then let's say I just want to demonstrate something. I don't really need to be doing anything crazy. Let's add in a plane, edit mode, Control R, Control 1, 2, 7, extrude. Let's see. What I'm looking at here is, let's delete edges. That's supposed to still be, yeah, that's fine. Okay, hold on. X delete vertices, there we go. Yeah. And then we're gonna come in here. Imagine this is a hand. Let's do a control 2. This is not the prettiest hand, but that's not the goal of it. It's just demonstrational purposes and just to see if it'll work. So let's go. Ooh. We're gonna say, well, first off, we're gonna throw in a edge loop like this on all of them just to make sure that I have enough geometry. And then we're gonna add in a lattice node and switch it over to this one here. We're gonna go edit mode. So if I were to go like this, and you know how your fingers don't really like to, your fingers don't really don't like to go down individually. Like, try putting your pinky on your palm without your ring finger also following, or at least even all of your fingers. And even worse, put your index finger on your palm without your middle finger and your ring finger following. So that's what I was thinking, with that kind of curl idea that I was talking about. I don't know how this is going to work. Let's try something here. Let's add an empty plain axis. Let's bring it back to the base here. No, bring it to the right there. Then let's add a modifier. Warp. Simple to form. It might be simple to form. Object. Empty. No, that's not it. Bend. That's not it. Oh, that was fun. Hey, look, it's an angel. But not what I meant to do. Okay, that's not it. I wonder if there's a way. Does anyone know a way to do that? Mesh to form. Heck. Oh, that's not it then. Warp. That's not it either. That's not gonna work then. Well, that was fun. Oh, did not mean to do that. Holy cow. Mm. Oh. So that ain't it either. Okay. Take a look at this. I've been trying to figure out how to get this to work. I technically can get it to work with one. Where is it? Where's the input here? It technically is just displaying text. Sorry, I got distracted. Holy cow, this is not turning out to be a good day for me on this, on being present. Looks so good. Mm. Yeah, I gotta figure out what I'm doing with those fingers. Then it might be a geometry node setup that I want to use instead. This is what I did for the here. Yeah, check this out. For those who the for I say those the one person watching, and if you're still watching, I don't know. Um, but we'll see. Chimpanzee. I was just showing earlier in the stream how I used geometry nodes to control. How I got it to kind of control the as to use geometry nodes to rig the face. So there's no bones in here at all. There's no shape keys either, which is kind of nice. It's just math. Issue is I'm not quite sure how to get get bones to tie to it, you know, or to I gotta figure out how to get that to get bones to work with it. Probably shouldn't make it so I can go down far enough that it exposes the teeth. Although I don't know that I have much of a choice there. I might. I'm at the worst part in all of these projects. I feel. Okay. The toughest part in all of them. So I'll be back to that. I'm certain. I gotta figure something out there. Um. Hmm. Hmm. I don't quite know. I don't quite know. Um. Excuse me. I know this. I've gotten nothing done this stream other than add some bones to the fingers. I really don't quite know what I'm doing. Um. Let's see if we can. Let's get some stuff done on this one here. Let's work on. You know what I miss from the old versions of Blender, is that layer panels up here. I know the collections one is better in a lot of ways, but sometimes it's nice to be like, oh, I'm working on something somewhere else. let me click on this other layers panel for a second, and work on something, and then it was kind of out of the way. It was like it was like working on something on a different table. But I get why they changed it, and I am for the most part happy with that change. But I do kind of miss it sometimes. Because I am kind of might not sound like it, but I may not seem like it, but I am a bit of a Blender veteran from back in the day. I saw an interesting thing here that might be able to, I might some interesting thing on doing panels. I might give it a shot actually. Let's see if I can. Let me get these vertices. Bring these together. Uh-oh. Yeah. And then what I'm going to do is let's see, what was it? So Control E, mark sharp. And then we're gonna say add mod. Then we're gonna add a modifier for, let's see, split. Was it split? Edge split. Yes. Not edge angles. Just sharp edges. Yeah. And then we're gonna add in a solidify. That is not turning out what I was hoping it would. I'll come back to that in a second. What if actually Control E, clear sharp. We're gonna go Control E, mark or edge bevel weight. And then we're gonna add in a bevel modifier. Limit method weight. Let's bring this up above the subdivision surface. And then let's say what I'm thinking about doing, sorry, I didn't explain very well. What I'm thinking about doing is doing a bevel to split this edge. Here, let's real quick turn on just subdivision surface. Wait, what? Oh, as they gave me that back. Okay. Yeah. What I want to do is split it with a bevel. Let's see, profile custom. Let's do like that. Let's turn down the amount quite a bit. Okay, that's already looking good. Let's turn on this so I can see what that looks like. That looks okay. That was fun. That's not quite what I was looking for. Dang. Okay. Let's try geometry. But the nice thing is I can turn it off and on and off if I want to. Let's go back to here. Oops, let's turn this back on. And anyway, I'll come back to that. I'll come back to that idea in a second. What I do want to do is figure out the mask. Or the head, I mean. So what I'm thinking is, ooh, I don't know where I want to start. Where do I want to start? Let's start with the little mandible here. I know it sounds like a weird place to start, and I don't know if I might be making a mistake on that, but let's start with the mandible and the eyes and the little forehead whoop thing. So let's create a new collection. Within the thing is called head. I've got caps lock on. I forgot my Ruski flag. Does anyone remember that? And $20, anyone who knows, well, I'm not giving out $20, but 20 points to anyone who knows what that's from. And if they can name the specific episode and everything. Okay. I forgot my Ruski flag. Let's add in a cube. Yep, that's the one. Mirror. Magic mirror on the wall. Who is the fast of the Okay. Can I just no, I can't. Okay. We're gonna bring these pretty close together. Come in here and go GG. GG will let you do edge slide. And that there. They're gonna bring out. What are we thinking? Does that look good? Let's add a subdivision surface modifier there. Let's add some edge. Not marking. Edge, let's see, Shift E. Yeah, there we go. That marks those seams there. Well, let me look at this. I don't think I meant to make it super indented there. Do I even want it to be indented at all? I could just delete that. And go next dissolve edges. That might work fine. Let's go add a bevel. And an object shade smooth. And let's also make sure it's got I'm not worrying about materials just yet. What's going on here is I've got some I've got some just custom colors in the viewport display. And then I've got cleverly, here, let's take a look at this. Let's go, actually, I'm very proud of this bar here. Go into shading. I have just the object color as the, in controlling the color on the thing there. So I thought that was pretty clever on the material. So it's, I don't know if it's necessary, but I thought it'd be kind of fun to only have one. Um, to only have one material going. Oh, let's real quick turn on clipping. What are you doing, bud? Where you going, buddy? Where? Ooh, boy. Let's grab these guns here. What is going on there? That's weird. Okay. Oh, it has to do with the bevel modifier, doesn't it? Let's come in here. Let's see, how does this, how does that look in comparison? Bearing in mind that this is going to be intersected by the face bit here. We can tweak stuff and later. And here's the other thing is, it doesn't have, no point I can get every piece of information out of the drawing, and it's okay because I drew it myself, so I can do whatever the heck I want with it. I can decide what I meant retroactively. Let do 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 dum ba da ba dum bum ba da let's turn up this subdivision surface here. Oh, interesting. Oh, because it's before. Interesting. Let's see what it looks like without that. Yeah. I don't need that subdivision surface modifier. I don't think I do. What I do want to do is I think it needs to be slimmer in the front here. So let's go. Um, This also needs these all need to be brought forward too. And then let's grab the, oh, excuse me, holy cow. I got the hiccups. Too big. Let's bring this down. This is going to be the little panel on his front, on his brow. Let's turn off the mirror modifier for a second. Because I found that sometimes if you have the mirror modifier on when you try to delete the thing, for some reason it deletes the other half, saying, "Oh, you selected this one." Like, well, I only selecting them because they're mirrored, you know. Let's do this real quick. So let's go into proportional editing. Yeah, that's the one. Okay. It could be a little more vertical, I'm thinking. I gotta bring them real close together too. Some stuff is way to go away. I don't want to do this. Let's do it this way. Let's just follow it up. And let's bring these out like this. Let's bring out the Is that what I want to do? That's what I want to do. Thinking a lot about that meme where they're like, it's from the Mario movie, and they're like, people laughed at Da Vinci too. Yeah, I'm not so sure they did, Ma. And then I don't know what I'm saying. I'm just yapping. I think it's probably time I end broadcast. Okay. Well, that was fun. We got some stuff done. Not a whole lot, but it was done. But there was some stuff. Maybe next week I'll keep working on this stuff during the week. I think next week I might do more just like a doodling one, just sit down and draw. I'll probably have some more ideas, figure out how to do it. This is my first what do you call it? First stream here. But yep. Have a good one. Bye.